on my computer. So here is the study, the McMaster study. And this, if you can see here, is the potassium. As the potassium in the serum declines, the rate of all-cause mortality increases. Death from cardiovascular disease increases substantially. It increases substantially. The death from any cause increases substantially. And you will notice the more potassium excretion, that is, the more potassium in their diet, over 4 grams, the lower the all-cause mortality, the lower the mortality from cardiovascular disease, and the lower the mortality from all major cardiovascular events, the kind where you sort of drop dead. This is the McMaster's study, and their numbers are very interesting. What it said was under 1.5 grams of potassium per day, the death from cardiovascular events, 573, 1.5 to 2 grams a day, 1,000. And it was not until you got to greater than 3 grams per day that your mortality declined from a high of nearly 1,000 here at 1.5 to 2 per day to under to 227 per day. So potassium, folks, is very, very important in your diet. And what I'm going to show you is different sources of potassium, starting with, of course, my favorite, bone broth contains a boatload of potassium. The second big source of potassium are these beautiful greens. Each cup contains 200 to 300 milligrams of potassium. So you need between 2 and 4 grams of potassium in your diet per day. And each cup or 2 of these greens that you eat supplies you with 1/4 gram, with 1/2 gram of these. And you gotta find ways of making it interesting, delectable. Mixing these with a lot of fats makes the potassium much more digestible, the minerals much more digestible. So the salad that I make, the everything salad, I'm gonna put dandelion greens in it. I've got radishes in it. I've got, you know, the spicy radish. I've got scallions. I got some carrots. Apples have about 200 milligrams of potassium per day. Beetroots are a very good source of potassium, 400 or 500 milligrams per day. Avocados are a very rich source of potassium, and so I'm gonna use avocado in my salad today. And the test of an avocado is how deep has this little point gone into the avocado. This looks like a nice ripe avocado, and this has about 900 to 1,000 milligrams. That's 1 gram of potassium. If you're in a keto way of eating, you don't have to eat a banana to get your potassium. You can eat all of these things. Why do people resist? Notice that people resist eating salads. And what I want to say is people need to think about eating salads in a delicious way and in a way that makes it really easy for you to eat salads. And there's nothing more important than this little gadget, This knife is Richard's knife. It might look ugly, but it is a very sharp iron knife, and I use this to cut up my salads. I use this very sharp, I think it's a Cuisinart grater, but you can get a microplane grater to easily, readily grate things like radishes, carrots, beets, rooted vegetables that are very, very high in potassium. You need a knife to cut up vegetables, a very sharp knife. And the way to keep your knife sharp is with a stone that you use to sharpen the knife with. So many people avoid grating, they'll avoid chopping because making a salad is such a pain. It's not such a pain at all. And the third thing that you need to do is have a lot of wonderful unctuous oils and dressings in your salad. You will love a salad that is rich with, a dressing made from ghee or butter, or a dressing made from extra virgin olive oil or mayonnaise or sour cream. So my refrigerator is filled with wonderful dressings that make these salads very, very delicious. And that's the way to eat an everything salad and imbibe that into your life. So the rule for the Health and Nutrition Club members here is 0 sugars, 1 big salad per day, 2 cups of these leafy greens in any form you would like, whether you like them in salad form or cooked. Now spinach, kale, etc., and frequently dandelions too lend themselves to cooking because it's easier to digest. It's just not as minerally, and you're adding fats to it, so it's much nicer and goes over smoothly if you cook it. The fats in the cooking oils and fats, which is to say the fats that contain fat-soluble vitamins A, D, K, and E, also make these minerals much easier to digest. So please replete all your leaves and leafy greens with fats to make them digestible, to make them delicious, to make them delectable, so that you get your 3 to 5 grams of potassium per day on your ketogenic diet or even in your daily life. You want more potassium. The only environment in which you don't need more potassium is if you have severe kidney disease. And you will notice that on all the DaVita, which is the dialysis center, they tell you, oh, don't eat potassium. That's because your kidneys are holding on to potassium. Well, guess why you need to go on dialysis? You need to go on dialysis because you have been eating a diet of too many carbs for the last 20, 30, 40 years. And if you reduce your carbohydrate intake and you reduce the glucose in your bloodstream, your nephrons would be better preserved. The capillaries supplying blood to your kidneys would heal and recover from the damage that was done to them, and your kidney function would actually improve. So if you have kidney problems, I would recommend a very low sugar diet. And by low sugar, I mean low carbohydrates, which is not just low sugar, honey, molasses, maple syrup, rapadura, jaggery, but also low potatoes, starchy vegetables, pasta, grains, rice, and other carbohydrates in your diet. This will improve your kidney function. You will eat more potassium that is very heart friendly. As we saw, it reduces your all-cause mortality by a whopping 2 to 3 times. That and good sea salt. And so I invite you to do 0 sugar in your diet, 1 large salad every day that contains these kinds of things, whatever you can eat. If you are able to eat 1 cup is fine. So 0 sugars, which includes sugars as well as a lot of the starchy vegetables and carbohydrates, 1 large salad, 2 cups of leafy greens cooked. Typically, leafy greens get cooked so that you can digest and metabolize and assimilate them better. 3 hours before bedtime, you want to stop eating, especially if you're an insomniac. 4 ferments a day. And if you're on a ketogenic diet, consider eating, or if you have insulin resistance in any form, consider eating in a 5-hour window. So number 5 stands for eating in a 5-hour window, which means you're not eating for 19 hours, but you're eating to your heart's content in a 5-hour window. And consider at least 6 tablespoons of fat, preferably saturated fats, every day in your diet. So 0 sugars, 1 large salad, 2 cups of leafy greens, 3 hours before bedtime, stop eating. Number 4 is 4 ferments every day of your life. By ferments, I mean sauerkraut, kimchi, yogurt, preferably homemade, kefir, raw cheeses, anything that's fermented and gives your gut the bacteria it needs. Allows your gut bacteria to make neurotransmitters for you that make you happy. So if you have good gut bacteria, you'll have mental stability, you'll have digestive stability, and you'll make all your vitamins. So that's 4 ferments every single day in your life. 5 hours of eating window combined with 19 hours of not eating, and at least 6 tablespoons of fat in your diet per day, especially if you're on a keto eating plan. So good luck and happy eating lots and lots of potassium. It will prevent all-cause mortality, reduce it by a factor of 2 to 3, and it will prevent cardiovascular events as well as major cardiovascular events. Try not to supplement, try and get it from your food, because your body understands food. Your body really does not understand supplements unless you're in a life-threatening crisis. So here's to your good health, and text me or email me below if you have, or write if you have questions. Thank you.